So there are lots of places that are starting to develop development review tools. This is one from the San Francisco Public Health Department, the Healthy Development Measurement Tool. It's online, thehdmt.org, and you can plug in a proposed development and see what the health impact might be. You know, how far are people going to be from grocery stores? How walkable is this place going to be? Are they going to be exposed to diesel exhaust because it's going to be built right next to a freeway? And so on. And people are starting to change this so that it's not just for urban environments, but that it's for suburban or rural environments also. This is NACCHO, the National Association of City-County Health Organizations. They have a public health and land use development review tool. This one is from Seattle. So let me go forward quickly because we've heard about redevelopment. I think redevelopment is really, really critical. Are we in a redevelopment area right now?
You got it.
Okay, I could tell because we're in a big casino and a big hotel development. Redevelopment agencies love to build these sorts of things because, tell us why.
Well, tax increment.
Tax increment. You just heard it. That is it. What redevelopment agencies want to do is increase the tax base. That's what they're there for. And that is a potentially very good and powerful thing because if they're increasing the tax base, it means there's resources there for the city to spend on the sorts of things that we want them to spend it on. Okay? Now, redevelopment agencies are not allowed to build this. You all didn't build this. You got a private developer to build this, correct? But you guys...
Back and forth. I left some pamphlets in front so you can tell you about redevelopment, what we do, and everything.
They're all down there. But what they can do is they can build infrastructure. Okay? When the federal government was putting forward the legislation to allow for the creation of redevelopment agencies, the private real estate lobby went to Washington and said, oh no, we can't have a public agency doing that. It'll put us out of business. That's unfair competition. I don't know if that sounds familiar to any of you people. And so the law was passed in such a way so that redevelopment agencies are not actually allowed to do any development. What they can do is they assemble land, eminent domain, all right? They can build infrastructure, sidewalks, roadways, bike paths, horse trails, river. Do that. That's infrastructure. And then they can create incentives for businesses to come and develop. And that business could be a casino. It could be an IKEA. It could be a grocery store. If you notice in the bottom corner of the doctor's picture, you saw Fresh and Easy. That's a grocery store that's coming. It could be a mixed-use development with senior housing on top of the grocery store so that the grocery owner has a built-in market for people coming right down. Okay, it could be low-income housing. The state of California has a law, the only one I know of in the country, back to your question about gentrification this morning, which I'd asked you to ask, but you didn't ask it, so I'm going to answer it anyway. There was a question. The state says redevelopment agencies have to spend 20% of their funds on affordable housing. Okay, that's the law. That was passed in 1978 or something like that. Don't accept that as the upper end. Accept that as the floor. In the city of San Francisco now, the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency spends 50% of its funds on affordable housing. There is a lot that a redevelopment agency, if it is generating funds, can do with a little bit of help and prodding and suggestions from well-motivated, well-organized community members to potentially build healthier environments. Improving pedestrian infrastructure. So what these guys are doing is in San Mateo, putting in bulb outs and changing the actual texture of the road so the drivers understand, oh, I'm in a place different here, I better slow down because this is where pedestrians are. Rehabilitating brownfields. This was in Oakland. This was a super fun site along here. The redevelopment agency had to come and cart away all the soil and incinerate it, and now you've got a kid's park. The point of all of this is that redevelopment planning and general planning, these are public processes according to state law. Okay? Redevelopment agencies are local agencies. Planning agencies are local agencies. They're not in Sacramento. They're right here. They're in City Hall. You all can and should be getting involved in these planning processes. I only have about 3 more slides. When you get involved think it's really important to understand what motivates the organization you're trying to work with. In the case of redevelopment, it's revenue generation, okay? Really to think about how this can potentially have a positive impact on the bottom line of the community. We heard about the increase in property values from those houses in Seattle when they redid that road. That sort of thing can really speak to a redevelopment agency. Okay, that really makes them start to think. The idea that making places healthier and more attractive can have a positive impact on the bottom line. Really can help you bring along. For those of you who are in public health, and I know there are a few public health people here, mobilizing and sharing data is critical. Health data, look at these. See these ones here? Consumer spending. South Central LA got a Ralph's just this last summer. That Ralph's opened there. They hadn't had a grocery store in the neighborhood since, I think, 1949. It was funded in part, the CRA in Los Angeles helped assemble the land, and then they went out and helped get funding. CalPERS invested in it. Part of the reason why Ralph's went down there is there's a long-held belief in the grocery store business that low-income neighborhoods don't have the market to support a grocery store. And increasingly what you're seeing is people going out and analyzing the consumer spending in the neighborhood and finding that there's a lot of leakage and unmet demand. What leakage means is, so say Compton, I don't know what the grocery store situation is here, but I bet you that there's a lot of grocery dollars leaking out of Compton into other places. When you present that sort of data to a grocery store owner, that can really make bells ring in their head. Okay, these are the sorts of things that you can be doing, mobilizing data. Okay, I just want to show you this, and then this is my last slide. See, this is a sort of an organizational map of the Washington neighborhood in San Jose, where I've done some work. The San Jose Redevelopment Agency has started up about 10 years ago what they call the Strong Neighborhoods Initiative. And they are way in the forefront in this state of redevelopment agencies, really getting the whole sort of public health, building healthy infrastructure kind of thing. But even there, the only way to really get them to move is to community organize. And in this neighborhood, they wanted a tot lot. They wanted a little park. So you have the neighborhood organization, the Washington NAC. They got, I mean, these are everyone who they brought in. All right, to help convince the redevelopment agency and move the redevelopment agency and put political pressure on them to help fund a park. All sorts of different, you've got community center, you've got the health trust, you've got Stanford University, you've got the local, the La Biblioteca Latinoamericana, you've got Kaiser Permanente, you've got State First Five, you've got Catholic Charities. There are a lot more, but they all couldn't fit on this. So you guys who are interested in improving the local creek, I think it's really important, if you're not already, and I'm sure you are, to understand who your potential allies are and how they can all be brought in to work together with the Great Compton Redevelopment Agency and others to help move this forward. This is my organization. These are some of our stuff. We have a lot of free materials available for you online at healthyplanning.org. Toolkits and fact sheets to tell you how to work with general planning, how to work with economic development, how to work with redevelopment, sample language, model policies, all of that downloaded for free. So give us a call. We're happy to help you all.